Wow, 2023 is over already. It's definitely going to be a year to remember, especially if you're me. So, as a starting point, I haven't heard of any big, major, life-changing news, so this was basically a normal year, and because of that, I'll be dedicating this year's review to all of my experiences. Starting with the fact that I turned 18 this year. My first year as a legal adult has been fairly well. I graduated high school and now I'm partaking in the GATE program to get some work experience under my belt. It's very exciting. And that's all I have to share about my personal life outside of the internet. So, let's talk about that now. The movies I saw this year were pretty good. Starting off was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and holy hell was this another banger. I mean, it makes sense that it would be a banger, but no one was expecting it to be that good. It sets up quite the story, with Miles fighting against a multiversal algorithm, Spider-Man 2077, and an alternate version of himself. It expands this whole universe in interesting ways, and in short, I cannot wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse. That was a lie. I will be very patient for its release so it doesn't turn up as a disappointment. Now, the Mario movie. I still can't believe how good it was. It's insane how Illumination somehow didn't fuck it all up. Speaking of, how crazy is it that after an entire decade has passed, they finally made a movie that isn't just as good as their first movie, but one that's finally better than the first one. Now, I haven't seen the Duck movie, but I am interested in seeing it. We may finally have a redemption arc for this studio. Next up, Oppenheimer. It was pretty good. The way they tell the story of the man who invented the atom bomb was super unique, as the parts in color were from Oppenheimer's perspective and the black parts were objectively what happened. Now, I will admit that I only saw it because it was released the same day as Barbie and because my dad really wanted to see it, but it's still a good movie, even if it wasn't really for me. Anyways, let's talk about Barb. This movie was hilarious. I still remember my first reaction to the very first teaser trailer. A resounding... What? I mean, could you blame me? Let's just look at all the other Barbie movies. None of them are as interesting as this one single teaser. And then there was the movie itself. I saw this in theaters twice. I don't do that with other movies. So you got to know how special Barbie is. It is a cinematic riot. Genuinely the most fun I've had with a movie since the Lego Movie. All the way back in 2014. If you have not seen Barbie, please do yourself a favor and watch it. You will not regret it. Okay, let's now talk about the FNAF movie. God, it's so weird to be saying that. This film was in the works for about an entire decade. And for most people, including myself, didn't even think we'd be alive to see it. I still remember seeing at least one meme that was clearly doubtful about Hollywood actually making a damn FNAF movie. And yet, they did it anyway. And it was fine. The story was okay. I liked the YouTuber cameos. The characters were fine. And the animatronics were amazing. The puppeteers did a really good job of making these characters really feel like they were just a little bit too alive. The scene where the movie was an actual horror movie was top notch. In fact, when the movie was a genuine FNAF movie, it was really good. And the ending was fairly creepy. And then the credits. The FNAF song playing during the credits of the movie, a cultural reset. It was a fun time, even with the film's shortcomings. Okay, let's talk about Disney this year. It was their 100th anniversary, so they clearly had it in the bag this year. Is what I would have said if we weren't living in the real world. Disney this year was a giant mess. If you don't understand, then take a look on the internet. Elemental, this year's Pixar movie, barely surviving on fumes. Like, it did get better as the year went on, but still, it was not doing that well. The Marvels, not doing that well. Haunted Mansion, alright, but bland, and was released ahead of October so that it could have a spooky release on the streaming service. And then there's Wish. I haven't seen Wish, and I don't really care to see it. Mainly because all I've heard is this. This movie is boring and only aimed at children. The music isn't good and feels like it was written by an AI. The animation feels off. The first real Disney villain we've had since, like, I don't know, King Candy wasn't that interesting. And with all those complaints, I have seen clips of the movie and yeah, it looks kind of rough. Like, it's trying to do what Spider-Verse did, but taking all the wrong messages. Unlike DreamWorks, who totally nailed their stylized animation. Hi, this is MB Memes and Post. Some other thing to talk about. I forgot to talk about were pneumonia and the Teenage Mutant Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Haven't seen Mutant Mayhem, but once again, just like the Disney, it also has a very good distinguished style that Disney also didn't do well with also pneumonia once again, and pretty good style. And also, I did watch a movie. It is very good. You should also watch it. The setting is also very creative. It was talking about our real world and how, despite how advanced we are with our technology, we keep going. Our morals are going backwards into like the medieval era. Yeah, it's a very good analogy, metaphor thing. Yeah, and to me personally, it's a big problem for Disney. I've had more interest in seeing an Illumination movie over one of theirs. The only good things Disney made was Once Upon a Studio, a very cute short that pays homage to all the animation studio's work, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And even then, that was because James Gunn actually planned out the trilogy, and even then, he's now working for DC, which is another major problem for Disney. Because now the DCU is starting to look kind of promising, aside from The Flash. And I'm excited for the release of the Aquaman sequel because it looks like it's going to be fun. I mean, Blue Beetle was fun, so as long as they keep this up, DC will finally be doing what was perceived as the impossible. Outdo the MCU, which would be another major loss for Disney. Oh, and I just remembered that they made another stupid live-action remake. I didn't watch it, and I hope that he'll Bailey screw outshine this piece of crap. In fact, I hope that for all the actors who had to be in this piece of crap. Now, our final part is here. The games I played this year. There was the SpongeBob game that I released in January, and I only made one video on. I played Half-Life for the first time. It's good, and I will be making more videos on it. Lethal Company looks like fun. I don't have it, but I would like to play it sometime with my friends. And let's stop stalling, talk about Pizza Tower again. Holy shit, I need to talk about it again. Pizza Tower is a masterpiece. Screw the Game Awards, they're bullshit. Because apparently your vote doesn't matter. The vote of the higher matters. Isn't that lovely? Also, screw the Steam Awards too, I guess. Like, seriously, how did Last of Us beat out not just Pizza Tower, but also Hi-Fi Rush and a Persona game for the soundtrack award? Just how? Anyways, I've already said everything about Pizza Tower, but I want to say more. The art style nails the control chaos of the 90s. The animation is so delightfully unhinged. The music is on a whole nother plane of epic. I listen to it almost every single day. God, I love Pizza Tower. I hope it continues to have staying power on the internet for the rest of the time. And if you somehow still haven't played it, then what the fuck are you doing with your life? Go play it! Now, it's time for the channel. This year was fairly big for my channel, as it's where it started doing numbers. I got more subscribers, I made a bunch of new videos. Hell, someone made a fan animation on one of my videos. That's a sign you're doing something right. Yeah, this year was great, up until December. Yeah, 2023 was doing really well, and then almost everything went to hell. Why? Well, simple, really. I got robbed. Don't worry, my actual house is fine, nothing physical is taken. But what was taken was almost everything in my TF2 inventory. I don't know how, but someone started up a trade on my profile and took everything they could get their hands on. Not just the expensive stuff. They stole my loadouts, my unusuals, my fucking frying pan. Why? Why did you feel the need to not just take the legitimately valuable shit? Why didn't you also take the shit that's basically worthless on the market? But the most frustrating bit is when I went to go report the fucker. Apparently, I already reported that profile despite never seeing it in my entire life. So my dad helped me out by writing a report to Steam support themselves. And how did they respond? Lesson learned. Steam support is fucking useless. Now, I have something very important for you to do. If you see any of the following items, report the person who has them immediately, as that's some of my stolen shit. All I can say now is that I probably won't be playing TF2 as much. And that's really sad because I still love the game. Well, I can also say that the month did improve with Christmas, as my dad pulled a Christmas story and got me a PlayStation 5. And on top of that, he also got me a copy of God of War Ragnarok. That was my first game for the console. To put it simply, I really love my dad. And if you're watching this, I just want you to know you're one of the absolute best fathers a child could have. So, that was 2023. A fairly good year with a very chaotic end. All that's left now is the roadmap for next year. And to put it simply, I have no idea what I'll be doing next year. I mean, I do have some ideas for new animations. I'm cautiously optimistic about Kung Fu Panda 4. Garfield looks like it'll be dumb fun, and hopefully nothing else horrible happens. So, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.